Perform editing options such as erase, move, and trim on the objects in a drawing. The most common of these tools are located on the Modify panel of the Home tab. Take a minute to look through them. To erase an object, use the Erase command. You can enter E in the command window, or click the Erase tool. When you see the cursor change to a square pick box, click each object that you want to erase, and then press Enter or the spacebar. Sometimes you need to select a large number of objects. Instead of selecting each object individually, you can select the objects in an area by clicking an empty location, moving your cursor right or left, and then clicking a second time. With a crossing selection, any objects within or touching the green area are selected. With a window selection, only the objects completely contained within the blue area are selected. Here's how you would use the Copy command to lay out a row of decorative tiles. Starting with a polyline that represents its shape, you need to make copies that are 1/8 of an inch apart. You click the Copy tool or enter CP in the command window to start the command. From here, you can choose between two primary methods, depending on what's more convenient. You will use these two methods frequently. In this case, you know that any point on the second tile will be a total of 9 7/8 of an inch plus 1/8 of an inch equals 10 inches from the equivalent point on the original tile. So you select the tile, press Enter or the spacebar to end your selection, and click anywhere in the drawing area. This point does not have to be located on the tile. Next, move your cursor to the right, relying on the polar tracking angle to keep the direction horizontal, and then enter 10 for the distance. Press Enter or the spacebar a second time to end the command. When you specified a distance and a direction from a point, you defined a vector. This vector was applied to the tile that you selected. Another method, one that you will often use when you don't want to add numbers together, requires two steps. You start the Copy command and select the tile as before, but this time you click the two endpoints as shown. This also defines a vector. Next, to add to the 1/8 of an inch space between the tiles, click the Move tool or enter M in the command window. The Move command is similar to the Copy command. Select the newly copied tile and press Enter or the spacebar. As before, click anywhere in the drawing area and move your cursor to the right. Enter 1/8 or 0.125 for the distance. You can use the 2 points method as a repeating sequence. Let's say you want to make more copies of the circle at the same horizontal distance. You start the Copy command and select the circle as shown. Then, using the Center Object snap, click the center of Circle 1, followed by the center of Circle 2, and so on. For larger numbers of copies, try experimenting with the Array option of the Copy command. For example, here's a linear arrangement of deep foundation piles. From a base point, you specify number of copies and the center-to-center distance. Most models include a lot of parallel lines and curves. Creating them is easy and efficient with the Offset command. Click the Offset tool or enter O in the command window. Select the object, specify the offset distance, and click to indicate on which side of the original that you want the result. Here's an example of offsetting a polyline. A popular technique is to use the Offset command in combination with the Trim and Extend commands. In the command window, you can enter TR for Trim or EX for Extend. Trimming and extending are some of the most commonly used operations. In the following illustration, you want to extend the lines that represent the steps for this deck. You start the Extend command, select the boundary, and then press Enter or the spacebar. Pressing Enter or the spacebar indicates that you've finished selecting the boundaries and that you're now ready to select the objects to be extended. Next, you select the objects to be extended, near the ends to be extended, and then you press Enter or the spacebar to end the command. The result is that the lines are extended to the boundary. The Trim command follows the same steps, except that when you select the objects to trim, you select the portions to trim away.